You are listening to the Stop Binge Eating podcast with Kirstin Sarfde, episode number 12. Welcome to the Stop Binge Eating podcast. It's time for you to end your food obsession and begin feeling confident and in control around food. You are absolutely capable of eliminating binge eating from your life, and I'm going to show you how by giving you simple tools and insights that you can apply in your own life. I'm your host, Kirstin Sarfde. Now let's get to it. Hi, how the heck are ya? I hope that you are enjoying this beautiful fall weather and all the goodness that comes along with it as much as I am. I am obsessed with the foliage right now. If you don't get anywhere you live, then you need to book a vacation ASAP and check some out in real life. It's so funny to me how I did not appreciate it at all growing up here in Massachusetts. But since I went away for 13 years, now that I'm back, I am loving it. All right, now here we go. Let's talk about people who don't binge. What a bunch of jerks, right? I'm totally kidding. I love them and I love you. But don't you kind of get mad at them sometimes or jealous of them a lot of the time? Because boy, did I used to. There were my friends who would eat anything they wanted and they'd have no problem with it at all. So much food and not a care in the world. It was so annoying. Then there were those ones who ate all the foods that I would binge on, but wouldn't gain any weight. They, of course, weren't binging like I was, but they got to eat all those foods I loved and not gain a pound. So not fair. And the ones who I never saw overeat, who stopped when they were full and left food on their plate, just couldn't understand how they could do that. Or those who didn't stand by the food at parties, or at least keep finding themselves moseying on over to it a little too often. How were they not thinking about eating? I wanted to be like all of these people. I wanted to not focus on food so much, to eat like a, quote, normal person, to eat what I wanted, and to never worry about whether or not I was going to binge. Those people had no understanding of what it was like to binge eat. And although that frustrated me to not be understood, it also made me kind of jealous. I'd wished that I never knew what it was like to binge, to feel like food has all the power over you and to feel like you can't stop eating once you start and to eat until you feel like you're physically going to burst. So many times I thought that it wasn't fair that I had to deal with this and they didn't. Jealousy, man, it is a B. I've spent a lot of time in jealousy, and it is not a fun emotion to feel. It comes from wanting something that someone else has that you don't have and you think you can't have. Other people have normal eating habits and we don't, and we think we can't. We wish that we could be different, that we didn't have to struggle with this. We think we'd be happier and life would be easier if we didn't have binging in our way. But the thing is, wishing isn't going to change anything. Unless you have a genie, of course, and if you do, please send him over my way and share him with me. All wishing does is bring to your attention that you want something that you don't have, or that you wish your past or your current life were different, but it doesn't drive you to take any action. All it does is make you feel bad. Think about the times when you wished that you were different. Did it feel good to do that? Probably not. We look at the people who don't binge and compare their easy eating to our struggled eating, and then we feel like crap. You end up feeling sorry for yourself and probably drowning your sorrows in food and focusing on what you don't have that seemingly all the other people do have. And a good thing to know is that we all have a thing. Even if those people don't binge, there is something else that they're struggling with. No matter what you see, no one's life is perfect. Even if their Facebook or Instagram looks like they have the perfect life or they present themselves in person like they do, they absolutely do not. You may wish that your struggle wasn't binging, but if it wasn't, you'd wish that whatever your struggle was, that it wasn't that. So it's time to accept that this is your thing. Embrace who you are, your current circumstances, and everything that's happened for you. That this is the path that you were supposed to take. And I'm not saying this is one of those, your life is mapped out before you even live it kind of things, but it's an acceptance of what's happened, of where you are. You know you were supposed to get to this place because you did, and you can argue this, but you're going to lose. You're here. This is your reality. This is how it's supposed to be. And I promise you, there is something real good that will come out of this. After the struggle comes something amazing: strength. We become stronger after having gone through adversity. I found this quote by the one and only Oprah that says, "Where there is no struggle, there is no strength." Love it. It's just like lifting weights. Yes, it's hard, but if you want to have strong, toned muscles, you have to do the heavy lifting. If you want to be a strong person, you have to have something to work through to build that strength. And what's the most amazing thing is the person that you will become after going through something hard. You see things differently and handle problems differently. And it's after going through the toughest times that then life gets easier to maneuver because you've gained new skill sets and an understanding of yourself. What I love seeing is when I work with my clients who come to me to work on their binge eating, and we get to work on other parts of their lives as well. Had they not struggled with binge eating, they may not have ever taken the time to work on those things too. They may not have realized how they could improve their relationships with themselves, their kids, their significant others, or family members, or what they believe about themselves when it comes to achieving goals and creating their ideal life. They've been so stuck in all the negative, but not even realizing it. But because they had a struggle, they took action to become a better version of themselves. Working on what's hard for you helps you to gain a better understanding of yourself. It helps you evolve into a better version of yourself, and you learn how to become the person you truly want to be. You can become one of those people whose eating habits you admire. They are not unicorns. They're humans, just like you. They have the same brain structures that you do. They just use theirs differently. And you can reprogram your brain to work in the same way. I personally, honestly, never thought I'd be one of those people, but I am. Eating the way I truly want to is not a struggle at all. I still surprise myself sometimes when I stop eating with food left on my plate, or when I genuinely don't want to order dessert or buy junk food at the store. There's actually a container of ice cream in my freezer that I haven't touched in months. I really should just throw it away, but I kind of like that it's there and that I don't want to eat it. It shows me how far I've come. And the best thing that has come from my binge eating for me is that it led me here to be the coach that I wish that I had when I was binge eating, to help all the wonderful people that I do, including you. So it may be hard for you to see now, but on the other side of your binging is going to be something amazing. You're going to become the best version of yourself ever. And this is nothing to feel self-pity about. But you have to remember that wishing you were different, that you were like other people, isn't going to get you there. Jealousy is not proactive. It holds you back. No more wishing and hoping and thinking and praying. Get to work. Don't focus on those other people to feel bad about yourself. Look at them as an example of what's possible, and then make that possibility happen for you. There is no upside to jealousy. So when you see your friend eating the way that you want to, you can either feel jealous, thinking she has what you want and you can't have it, or you can say, yes, that's what I want and that's what I'm going to get. And don't forget, they probably have their own struggle they're dealing with. And if they're anything like I was, they're not talking about it. I didn't go around talking about my binge eating. People thought I was such a healthy eater because that's all they saw. So whatever it is, don't hate on them because their struggle is not yours. There's no struggle that is any more significant than another. And we all got them at one time or another. So drop your jealousy and start taking action. If you've been listening to all the episodes so far, you've gotten some real good tools and concepts to work on, and there's more to come. So if you have any questions about anything you've learned on this podcast, you can always go to the show notes page and leave a comment. Or you can just stop by to say hi. Love hearing from you guys. So the page for this episode is coachker.com/12. Or if you'd like, you can always just send me an email at info@coachker.com. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I will talk to you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Stop Binge Eating podcast. If you like what you heard today and you want more, go to coachker.com/free. That's COACHKIR.com/free to get some awesome free stuff to help you stop binge eating.